This is possibly going to sound very deep and also very eerie. And I promise you, 3 minutes is not long enough to break this down because it's much, much deeper than this. But I'm going to say give it a shot. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Have you ever heard people say in situations where they hear someone do something and they say something along the lines of, man, if that had been me, man, I would have done this differently. Man, I would have done that differently. I would have done this and that differently. And they're looking from their own perspective, comparing themselves to that person, their cause and effect. But that is you. Literally, you. Yes. Whoever is watching me right now, for example, I am you, literally, and you are me, literally. It's just that you cannot see it, you cannot perceive it because of your human mind is very limited. But it's literally the exact same consciousness. And because of the limitation of your human mind, I manifest physically as different from you to give you the opportunity for you to maximize the version of me through you and vice versa. But it's literally the exact same thing. Matter of fact, this goes so much deeper and eerie. If I was to, you know how in Nigeria they say juju, do juju and swap somebody's destiny. Let's say, for example, God forbid, of course, but it wouldn't even matter. Let's say somebody goes to the native doctor and do voodoo on me because they like my life so much and they think that my life is much better than theirs and blah, 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 and blah. And this voodoo is successful where they swap life with me. And in order for that to happen, I also have to give it permission for that to happen. Nothing will be different. Literally nothing will be different. I'll still wake up as Uche, business as usual, and you wake up as yourself, business as usual. But we have swapped reality, even though we didn't really swap reality because we didn't need to swap reality. We were the exact same consciousness to begin with. If we swap and this Uche becomes you and you become this Uche, I wouldn't even be able to tell. You would still now, as Uche, perceive you yourself as your old self and vice versa. The face still would not change because you're now in where this Uche is, and as a result, you're now embodying this Uche's karma. And this Uche's karma that is manifesting your face as your face will still manifest your face as your face, and vice versa. So you wouldn't even see the difference because it's literally the exact same. It's just that your mind is playing tricks on you. This is because we don't all perceive the same things. When I look at myself in the mirror, I see what I see because my consciousness, my karma, wants me to see what I see, which is a direct reflection of my mind and my belief metaphysically. But it's not guaranteed that you see the exact same thing as me at all. And vice versa. When I look at you, there's no guarantee that I see the exact same thing everybody else sees when they see you. Matter of fact, you can even practice this on your own. Like some videos that I've done here on TikTok and in Instagram, this year alone, including all the years, being in Ghana, like when I watch the videos, it's almost as though I don't recognize myself. There are some traces that are, like similar, but the face looks so different. The hair looks so different. The nose looks so different. Like who is this person? But I felt the exact same way I felt then as I feel right now. No difference whatsoever because the consciousness is the exact same. But the morphology shifts because your mind is shifting. Every single time your mind is moving, everything about your physical manifestation moves with it because from within you manifest without. And this is why they say mind over matter, because it manifests in the mind first, then the mind projects into matter, which is physical matter. And that sounds so crazy. This is because the observed is the observer and the observer is the observed. This is the observer phenomenon. I think that's what it's called in quantum physics. If you know about quantum physics, you know that before an atom is observed, the atom is in superposition, meaning that it's in every possible position that it can be. And then when you observe, it rearranges itself or arranges itself to show you what you need to see. Some scientists may think that that arrangement is random. I don't think it's random. I don't believe it's random. I believe that it's mimicking you, your truest belief, the one that is beyond your ego, your truest belief. Meaning that another entity can look at the exact same, whether it's human or not, can look at the exact same atom and will see something totally different and see one of the points within that superposition that you don't see. It's just that in this realm, and more specifically, the realm that I occupy, because I don't know what realm some of you guys are in. And that's not me trying to be shady. That's just me being honest. In my observer perspective realm, in this realm where Uche resides, the atom will always arrange itself in alignment with what is called the least action principle, which is, I've explained that before. Everything in this realm will go from point A to point B exuding the least amount of energy. Everything follows it except humans. But then we could also argue that humans do follow because karma brings suffering to you to help you nullify. But that's a whole nother conversation, chat. I'm not trying to make this shit too esoteric. But you get the point. This is so fascinating. This is so fascinating. We're literally the exact same. Literally the exact. I know it sounds metaphoric, but it's not. Literally. It's so eerie and cool. And this is why the Bible says, judge not, lest you be judged. Because if I was to judge you, I'm literally judging myself. If you were to judge me, you're literally judging yourself. This is equivalent to me being like, Uche, yeah, mad ho. Like something's wrong with you. Like, and I really do mean it. You wouldn't do that to yourself. Exactly. So when you're judging someone else, you're literally doing that to yourself. And if I were to see you doing great and you were winning and you're celebrated, I ought to celebrate you because that's literally me celebrating myself. Think about it. Imagine when you're winning something, you won a prize, you won some type of accolade. Wouldn't you want to celebrate yourself? Wouldn't you want to be happy? Wouldn't you want to shout on top of the rooftop? Like to celebrate and thank God, thank heavens. The exact same way. You wouldn't be jealous of yourself. You wouldn't win $1 million and then you're jealous of yourself. This small $1 million, that's why I'm making noise. You wouldn't do that to yourself, right? You become a doctor. You want to be so happy that you became a doctor. Like, yo, I did it. Like, yo, all those sleepless nights, all those dissertation, that's in English. All those I can't speak English. Dissertation. Fuck. Father Lord Almighty. My inshallah, I'm gonna start accent is coming out. All those things that I did, all those, sleepless nights. You want to celebrate yourself. You win a marathon. You want to celebrate yourself. You want to be happy. You wouldn't be jealous of yourself. That's why you ought to celebrate. I'm sure this is in the Bible. I haven't read this part yet, but I'm sure it's in the Bible. You ought to celebrate each other because when you see your brother winning, when you see your sister winning, you are literally winning. I wish I can paint people a picture as to how this is literal and not metaphoric. A lot of motivational speakers will package it as though it's metaphoric because they know your ego will tap into it and maintain that division. This is what breeds jealousy and anger and, not anger, wrath, jealousy and remorse and trying to take advantage of other people because they don't understand that you're literally doing that to yourself. Shit. I know I talk a lot of shit about this realm and this world and the people of this world, blah, 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 blah. And this realm pisses me off sometimes because I know that I'm not of this world and eventually, inevitably, I wake up and go back home, chat. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful to walk this earth as a human being, occupy space and time. But I'm also grateful to study humans. Like, I think the human mind, not even just human, but the human mind is so fucking fascinating. Sometimes it gives me goosebumps. But the most interesting thing about studying humans, bro, and I've thought about this for so many years. The most interesting thing that I appreciate the most about studying humans, my ability to study humans, is the fact that I get to study humans as human myself. That adds a little bit more umph to it, whatever that is, Chad. People say that shit in the movies. You know what I'm saying? It adds a little bit more flavor to it. Because imagine trying to observe humans as a different entity, like as an animal, for example. It wouldn't hit the same. Like trying to observe humans as a dog. It wouldn't hit the same. Try to observe humans as a bacteria. It wouldn't hit the same as a plant. It wouldn't hit the same. Of course, you'd still be able to observe humans based on your own, subjective to your own consciousness. Or a non-physical entity that we don't have the ability to perceive as humans occupying space and time. It wouldn't hit the same. But it's more exciting. Exciting meaning not negative nor positive. If you are observing humans as human. Because observing humans is so simple, yet is not easy. It is as simple as looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself, yet is not easy. The reason why it's not easy is because of the ego. The ego blocks you and tells you that there is a separation or a difference between the self and the other. Everything human pertains to them, just not me, because my shit don't stink. I am special. And as a result, you miss it. But imagine when you look in the mirror and you admit to yourself that you are also human, just like everybody else. The exact same things you see in other people, you see in yourself and vice versa. You come to see truly that the spirit is one. Literally. This is essentially what emotional intelligence is. This is what telepathic love is. Like you'll be able to have this clairvoyance that it's mind blowing. You'll be able to feel everyone because we're literally the exact same. The same way the entirety of your body is one, but if your pinky hurts, you feel it. Your hair, scalp, gonna hurt, you feel it. Your nyash is scratching you, you feel it because it's literally the exact same and all your senses are working together as one. Matter of fact, a perfect example, and I promise you this is not, I'm not bragging, this is not tooting my own horn, but I'm just giving you a testimony. I'm a teacher, okay? And I'm trying to break it down to you as to how this mathematics works, okay? I know that I glow. I know, okay? I don't need anyone to tell me. I feel it deep in my soul. This is because I follow the exact same principle that I've talked about in the past, a couple of times in the past, in simplicity and humility. If you do that, you close the circle and you glow. The Bible calls it living your truth in your spirit. I've done episodes breaking that down in the past. Check it out on TikTok. I know I do. And as a result, I know there are some people who watch me, they're quiet, they're silent, they don't even follow. You'd be surprised, there are some celebrities who've noticed me. And I'm not, again, this is not me trying to toot my own horn. I'm just telling you this is how the mathematics works. Remember the episode that I did in the past where I was talking about your talents and your gifts will take you before kings and queens? That's because they recognize you. They recognize the pattern that you're following because they follow the exact same pattern. And I also remember I talked about how the Bible said Jesus is the King of Kings and what makes Jesus the King of Kings. And even he literally walked that same path, which everyone who has walked that path, all the kings and all the queens who have walked that path, they recognize you because you're walking the exact same path that they walked through and Jesus walked through it. And we cannot get to that path without Christ. This is what makes Christ the King of Kings. I'm summarizing real quick because I'm trying to make this shit short, but I've done episodes in the past, breaking this down using mathematics. Check it out. But I know that there are some people who watch me on here and you will be surprised. Even Uche will be surprised. Again, I say Uche, which is separate from my own consciousness, the consciousness of all of us. You will be surprised some of the celebrities who my videos have come across and it spoke to them because they recognize my authenticity, which is beyond whatever it is that they perform. Okay, a lot of these celebrities, maybe they're actors, actresses, they perform. That's how they get money, Chad. But deeper, my word, my again, I don't even know what to call it, touched their soul because they understand, like, yo, I'm looking at literally myself. This guy is glowing the exact same way that I glow. This is because let your light so shine before men that they will see you and glorify your Father in heaven. What's shining is not you. It is your consciousness that is speaking through you. Uche is an illusion. Uche is a vessel. What is a consciousness, and that consciousness is one. Where all of us, if you're tuned in, like I put in my book, check it out on Amazon, by the way. If you're tuned into the love station, love language station, I think that's what I called it, you'll be able to see that we're speaking the exact same language. And everyone else who is not tuned into that station, they think we're speaking gibberish and they'll talk shit to us. But we ought not to judge them because they're sleeping and eventually they'll wake up. Why? Because the dead in Christ will rise inevitably. Chat, this shit is deep. It's creepy. See, this is why I studied philosophy. It's fun, but it also gets so creepy. It gets so creepy. Yo, yeah, I don't understand, chat. And it gets so lonely because I have no real community. Like, shout out to my sisters because they're literally two of some of the only people who actually get it, and I feel them deep in my soul that they get it. They're not just agreeing with me that they get it. No, I can see it because it's a mirror image that they get it, and they get it in a way that is very subjective to them. And it's so cool to watch how they get it in a way that is different from how I get it. It is so weird. It's so cool and weird. Shit, I'm a weirdo, dude. But the issue is that we live in a world that does not promote emotional intelligence, EQ, but instead it thrives on separation, divide and conquer. Apathy instead of empathy has become the red carpet that all these systems like capitalism, sexism, homophobia, biphobia, what's the other one? Racism, colorism, all these things, futurism, walk on. And look at us, we're just doing nonsense and rubbish without realizing that we are hurting each other. This is literally like me cloning myself and I'm not going with me. And the angels are looking at us and just like, look at these human beings. And the aliens are just looking at us, look at these human beings. We don't know that we can trigger the rapture, and I'm going to talk about that in a whole different, time. Why the Bible said, why Jesus said that no one knows when the rapture will happen, only God, the Father, knows. I will explain that using quantum physics, why only God knows. Not even the angels know. Not even Jesus himself knows, chat. It gets so exciting. It's so eerie. It's so exciting. It's so eerie. Like, yo, chat, this is human. Uche, peace and love. If you want more, check out my podcast, Let's Talk About Us with Uche, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everywhere there's a major podcast. Gonna. Let's Talk About Us with Uche. I don't always post these very deep, ontological, esoterical, philosophical things on here because these algorithms, they don't give two fucks about anything deep, chat. They want to pacify you so you can keep buying nonsense and rubbish that you don't need. Hey, father. So forget that you are not of this world. We thank you. Let me stop before they come for me, chat. Ooh, loud.